The Cache Valley Media Group's countdown of the top 25 Aggie football players for 2023. On our list at number 19 is Cole Motes, who has played quite a bit the last couple of years on the offensive line, starting at different times. He is a two-year Letterman junior, 6'5", 290 pounds, out of Thatcher, Arizona. To help on the offensive line, number 19 on our list, Cole Motes.
So number 19, Cole Motes, projected as the starting right tackle. As Al mentioned, he's played a decent amount, started a bit here and there, largely as an injury fill, and he's, primarily backing up like Jacob South, who was a starter for a couple of years. I think he filled in for Alfred Edwards in a game or two that Edwards missed. So those are when his starts have been, but even then, he'd sub in for Jacob South on a lot of occasions. They'd split a lot of the snaps throughout a game, so Cole Motes hasn't been a quote-unquote starter for pretty much his entire career, but he's also one of a handful of Aggies on this team to play more than 1,000 snaps in his career with the Aggies. So he's experienced, despite maybe not having the starter tag, which he's about to inherit now with Edwards and Cole Motes leaving, or Edwards and Jacob South, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, he appeared in every game last year, started 4 times. Had 8 starts in his redshirt sophomore season, redshirt freshman season in 2021. And so he actually started more games as a redshirt freshman, as he did as a redshirt sophomore last year. But as you said, those were kind of in plug-and-play situations. But this is a guy who does have a lot of snaps and a lot of experience as a member of that offensive line. 6'5", 305 pounds. He's a big body on that offensive front, and going to play a really big role in protecting his quarterback and helping to set up the run game as well. So I like that this is one of those players for Utah State. In some of these who we've already been discussing at the lower end of our top 25 here, guys who have had opportunities before in the system, and this is the year for them to kind of step forward and play a larger role as a starter or as a more impact player for Utah State. Cole Motes certainly fits that criteria and is the next one in line to do that, I believe.
And there's a lot riding on the offensive line, especially these guys coming back, because they need to come back and they need to show improvement. Because the offensive line is like the one position group where I'm just worried there's not a path forward to them being any better than they were last year. At best, they'd be as good as last year. And I don't like saying that because I feel like the offensive line is just so crucial to, obviously, the development of the running back room. You're replacing Calvin Tyler Jr., 1,000-yard rusher. You need the offensive line to be stable for the next guy coming in because, it can often not matter who that running back is. They don't have a good offensive line. They're not going anywhere. Unless they're Barry Sanders out there. And Barry Sanders ain't walking through that door.
No.
At least not 1990s Barry Sanders. So they need to have a good offensive line for guys like Robert Briggs and Davon Booth and all these other running backs so they can have a smooth transition into more snaps. And then obviously Cooper Legai, he's got to have time back there. We're talking about maybe the improvement of the wide receiver core. He's got to have time to throw to these guys, especially when we talk about their speed. Get down the field, those take time to get open. So a guy like Cole Motes, he's going to play a huge role because he needs to improve and not just say, all right, well, I'm the starter now. I'm going to keep playing the way I have. Because he's got to step in and at least be as good as the guy he was replacing, if not better, if this offensive line is going to be good enough to, have the offense be as good as we want it to be.
Yeah, no, totally agreed. And just here's somebody that's been in the Aggie system for a while. He's learning, he's growing, he's improving. His redshirt freshman year, he's graded out at 80%, improved that to 84% last year, even though he had fewer starts, but he did appear in more games. In fact, he was graded out at a 96% in the game at Colorado State. So we know he has that potential to be a very impactful offensive lineman for USU.
Yeah, he's played pretty good at times. And like I said, if he continues to improve, and that's something that can be hard to quantify, how much do you actually improve year to year? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. These guys are in the starting role for a reason. They get better. They don't just fall into a starting position by accident. Cole Motes has earned his spot on the field year after year, despite being behind guys like Jacob South and Alfred Edwards, who are pretty solid tackles. But Cole Motes was fighting them for snaps. So there's definitely something there. So if he steps in, plays consistent, continues to improve, the Aggies are going to be fine at right tackle if that's the case.
Yeah, he wears number 56, and he's number 19 on our list of top 23 Aggies. That's Cole Motes for Utah State.